Welcome, everybody. Hope you are doing fine in these challenging days in the markets. Today, we'll go over the gold, silver, and Bitcoin charts in that order, daily versus weekly, to give you an overview of what has recently happened with these three key assets. Let's jump right in. As for gold, this is the daily chart, and we see a nice rebound here. It's going to be a common theme today in terms of the three assets that we follow. What I really like about gold is that we saw a big wick 3 days ago and a clear bounce to the upside for gold. Don't get me wrong, we're below the 50 SMA and there's still challenges, there's still resistance. However, we have hit a bottom, a temporary bottom, that could be important for the upcoming weeks. So this is a good sign for gold. The last time we saw a big wick like that, you see it here near the trend line again, and we continue to the upside for a few days after that. So, are we going back to the resistance? Are we trading sideways? We'll have to see, but we have weathered a big chunk of correction recently, and now we are in a rally in gold. Let's see if it's a new trend long term or if it's temporary. But the good thing is that we didn't break this support, and now we're consolidating and going upwards at this time. In terms of the weekly chart, we see a similar pattern. This is the last 2 3 years, a little bit more than 2 years for gold. And again, big correction, which is healthy for the asset in general. People take profits after the big run that gold has had in the last few years, months, depending on the entries of the different investors. We didn't go all the way down to support in terms of moving averages, but we see that both the short term and the long term moving average are going up and to the right, which is positive, meaning bullish sentiment still in place. However, we have had quite a big correction. And again, on the weekly chart here, you see a big wick. We have not seen a big wick like that since this week candle. And it's good to see that we're getting that type of bounce. We are trading near $4,500 in gold. 5,000 is still a big level. If we manage to come back and then break to the upside, then gold could resume its run in the upcoming weeks. That's the situation for gold. In terms of silver, this is the daily chart. Again, it corrects more than gold. It bounces stronger than gold. We have known that for a long time. Again, here we broke support, found support on the next level, the long-term level, and the last 3 days we have seen a bounce in silver. I believe today it's going to continue a little bit, so pretty positive, very similar pattern. However, with silver, we need to be a little more patient because there is a lot more volatility. On the weekly chart for silver, a little bit of the same thing. We have corrected and now we're showing a big bounce in the last week. You see it here, this wick is kind of nice, and his bar, I mean, with the wick is also quite nice. When you see wicks like that, it means that the asset corrected and buyers showed up and brought the price up. So very positive in terms of silver. We were in price discovery for quite a long time. big corrections, introduction of volatility, and now we are trying to find an equilibrium between buyers and sellers, and that's what we are seeing right now. Silver is around $73 right now, very, very positive, but again, expect high volatility in this type of environment. Disclaimer: I am not a financial advisor. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only and should not be taken as financial investment or trading advice. All investments include risk, and you should do your own research or consult with a licensed financial professional before making any investment decisions. Invest at your own risk. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Finally, let's move on to Bitcoin. Bitcoin, who has been holding quite strong too, a little better than gold and silver recently, short term. You see here the big base we have been working with for a while in Bitcoin. It made me frustrating for some. I see it as more positive because we are not really tanking a lot. We are holding, meaning that people, if they sell, there's buyers waiting at lower levels to bring the price back up. So a lot of people are estimating or evaluating that Bitcoin is at a good price. And I tend to agree. Not financial advice. I think we have corrected quite a bit already. There's big institutional buyers buying weekly, daily to support the price, including BlackRock and Strategy, to name the biggest ones. A lot of Bitcoin is changing hands, but we are seeing a stabilization, which is good. Even though the two trend lines are trending to the downside, this is quite normal in a bear market. It's not going to be a question of weeks to cancel this correction. It's going to take a few months. Be patient. And if you want to start accumulating for the next cycle of 3 years, potentially to the upside for Bitcoin, I highly suggest to look into around this region. We may see a smaller correction, but I believe that the big ones are in the past. Finally, here's the weekly chart for Bitcoin. We see what I am describing a little more long term. From the peak to now, corrected quite a bit, and we wick near this support level of the 200 week moving average, which is good. We have seen stabilization of price. Yes, we have seen stabilization and follow-up correction. This is still possible, but we have corrected quite a bit for Bitcoin. There's a possibility we correct and trade around this support. It's not unusual to be around this area in the bear market for Bitcoin. So that could be possible, or we trade sideways for a long period of time here in Bitcoin. That's, I think, the best options right now in terms of historic data that we have in terms of Bitcoin, and also the fact that there's a lot more institutional buying right now than it was 4 years ago, and then it was 8 years ago, where the buyers and sellers are completely different. It's not the same thing. So yes, look into it. I think these assets are still extremely important in a portfolio. Do your research, find the percentages that you want, and then start identifying how you get exposure for gold, silver, and Bitcoin in your portfolio. Have a nice day, everybody.